Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. You are on Blacklist Universe. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. If you would, please rate Thulu, Dennis Peruch, Timotei, best first ones here. Always ready to dive into the Bible. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. That's so flattering. I'll be glad to make a note of me start my channel. I don't feel correctly actually reviewing artist work. Hold on a second. Looking review an artist's work. If you'd be interested in a review on the book. Oh wait. Artist work. Looking to get fun. I'll be glad to look at it. Honestly, sorry, I was I just got a response to a comment I left. I've been hitting up some other sharing first. Thank you. Oh, you've been better? Is Mike science denying again? I am truth affirming. And when science denies truth, then I have to affirm truth over theory. Science is good. Science is good. However, scientists, interestingly enough, are a breed called human being, Homo sapien. And therefore, oh yeah, brand. Darn it, banners, like and share. There we go. Like and share, liking, sharing, not being a hypocrite. Bam. So this was something that came up. Oh, Clint Stoker popped it up on man, what a great thumbnail. Brought it up and I was like, Ever Todd, are you going to hit up the comic book podcast circuit, Mike? I don't know. I've never thought about it. Nonsense. Scientists have never been wrong. Like ever. This is actually untrue. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I bring you several hoaxes that were immediately embraced by the evolution theorists out there who desperately want evolution to be true so that they don't have to believe in a creator. Sorry, guys. Creationism is a lie. Genesis is a lie. Adam and Eve, etc. Wrong, Liam. Wrong. Frog sushi is a lie. That also is not wrong. Frog sushi is actually truth. It is true. I don't want to eat it because I don't really even want to eat frog cooked. I mean, if somebody put a plate of frog legs in front of me and they were cooked and they smelled good, I'd eat them. But it's not like I would go out of my way to cook a frog. Well, this is weird. Oh, I see, because it's reflecting the green light. I know, I've done this before, but it just looks like my chair is like entering another dimension. Howdy, everyone. It's a truth, says Timotei Best. Yeah. You guys just want to jump into it? So what set it off today? Which one of these articles? The thing that set it off today. Oh, actually, let me open up the actual. Wait, where's the actual article? Actually, dinosaurs probably didn't all have feathers. Okay, so this is the one, but that's not the article. Feathered dinosaur. First dinosaur tail found preserved in amber. Let's see if this is the one. So what happened today? Danggummit, that's not the one. That's terrible. Let's just open this first one. QZ.com. I don't want like janky pop-up stuff. All right, so what happened today? Let's see. Share screen. Bibbidi bop, bobbidi boop. Why isn't it sharing? There it is. There it is. All right. I mean, look at this. Isn't that amazing? This is the first preserved dinosaur, feathered dinosaur tail in amber. Right? Now, they're saying it's a dinosaur tail because they desperately want it to be a dinosaur tail. Right? Liam says, come on, Mike, you can still believe in God and also evolution. They're not mutually exclusive. No, Liam, I don't disagree with you, but I have researched this enough to realize that evolution is a lie. So what's the dimensions on that? This is teeny, teeny, tiny, tiny. This is I forget. It's like 3 millimeters. No, I mean not millimeters. 3 centimeters. I think it was 3 centimeters. 3 to 5 centimeters, I think. Something like that. Oh. So 2 centimeters of bones, 3.67 centimeters in length. So this has been blown up from. There's my centimeter roller. Gun it. Essentially this. Maybe the size of a 50-cent piece. So they're saying that this is from they're saying it's from a dinosaur about the size of a sparrow, which sparrows like this big. It's a freaking bird tail. Come on. It's a bird tail. Do you guys remember Archaeopteryx? Everyone remembers Archaeopteryx. Oh no, that's Archaeoraptor. That's another that was another fraud. Oh wait, that's Nebraska Man. That was another fraud. Oh, that's Piltdown Man. That was another fraud. Where's the Archaeopteryx? Do you guys remember Archaeopteryx? Let me type it in. Archaeopteryx. So Archaeopteryx, which was discovered in the late 70s, early 80s. I don't remember exactly which. That'll tell me right here. I'm sure. Because it was news everywhere, all over the news. They found a feathered dinosaur. When was it discovered? I guess it doesn't really matter when it was discovered. I just remember it. It was CBS, NBC, ABC. It was all over. This was before cable, by the way. This was first, no longer first bird. So now they're saying it's a bird, right? But when they discovered it, it's a dinosaur with feathers because they desperately want birds to be descended from dinosaurs. What didn't make global headline news for like a week straight was when they reclassified Archaeopteryx as a bird. Now, when you go to look, you'll find that Archaeopteryx has been classified as nothing more than a bird with a beak. And what's that? A segmented tail. It's a bird with a segmented tail. All right. So then at some point, somebody suckered science in 1999 into believing they've discovered another one, the Archaeoraptor. But it turned out that was just another fraud. In a line of frauds, well going back to Piltdown Man, which was, let's see, Dawson and Smith Woodward started working together, making further discoveries in the area, found a set of teeth, a jawbone, more skull fragments, and primitive tools, which they suggested belonged to the same individual. So anyways, there was this Piltdown Man, ended up being a audacious fake and a sophisticated scientific fraud. On top of Nebraska Man, which was another, this was Nebraska Man was based on a pig's tooth, and they created very creative, very inventive, these evolutionists. They invented Nebraska Man. Now, Nebraska Man and Piltdown Man found their way in, that little chart of monkey to man that they showed in all the biology classes. Piltdown and Nebraska Man were actually two of those in the evolutionary chain. They never took them out of that picture, though. So actually, dinosaurs probably didn't all have feathers. This is the article that was posted up that got me interested in this topic. Mike has something against people who live in Nebraska. Outrage. Mistletoe says, I don't like what Mike is saying, so I'll just call him stupid and pretend that hoaxes and scientific corrections don't happen. Yeah, y'all can look this stuff up. You do all have computers, I can tell, because you're on my show. And because of that, you have a thing called Google. And you're welcome to look this stuff up yourself. All right. Let me turn off this like and share banner. It's annoying me. The increasingly popular idea that all dinosaurs had feathers may be a bit too enthusiastic. This is, by the way, from the Smithsonian Magazine. Roughly 20 years ago, scientists started uncovering the first firm evidence of feathered dinosaurs from digs in China. By the way, China. They're known to make fraudulent fossils. Just keep an eye out for that. Then elsewhere, fossilized feathers started to crop up in the paleontological record. Paleontological record. Soon it seemed feathers were everywhere, adorning the bodies of not just ancient relatives of modern birds, but long lost and genetically disconnected groups of dinosaurs as well. Yes, this was all called fantasy. It became this all the feathered all the drawings of dinosaurs you see are illustrations, obviously. So a bunch of these people took it in their mind that, oh wow, dinosaurs have feathers, then let's just draw all the dinosaurs with feathers now. Which goes a long way into propagandizing the minds of kids, of students, random people. Now people think, of course dinosaurs have feathers. I've seen all the pictures. Bruh. Just because you watch Jurassic Park doesn't mean real dinosaurs are walking around the earth either. Long lost and genetically disconnected group from dinosaurs. The final blow for feather-free dinosaurs seemed to have come in July of last year when a new study reported the ancestor of all dinosaurs may have sported fuzzy plumage. It took a long time for the idea of vibrant, colorful feathered dinosaurs to supplant the idea of the scaled killer in public's imagination, but it seems some of this newfound enthusiasm may have been misplaced. Smithsonian Magazine, by the way. Two paleontologists, Paul Barrett and David Evans, think we've been getting a little too gung-ho on the feather front. According to Nature reporting, on a presentation given by Barrett and Evans, two paleontologists created a database of all known impressions of dinosaur skin tissues. They then identified those that had feathers or feather-like structures and considered relationships in the dinosaurian family tree. The results indicate that although some ornithischians had quills or filaments in their skin, the overwhelming majority had scales or armor. Among sauropods, scales were also the norm, indicating that some had quills or filaments, what some evolutionists call proto-feathers. Some had quills or filaments. Does any of that say some actually had feathers? I posit that it does not. But what do I know? These guys are paleontologists. As I'd go so far as to say that all dinosaurs had some sort of genetic trait that made it easy for their skin to sprout filaments, quills, and even feathers, says Barrett. But with scales so common throughout the family tree, they still look like they are the ancestral condition. This isn't to say dinosaurs didn't have feathers. Many of them undoubtedly did. It's the language. Of course they did, because we believed this for 20 years. The prevalence of scales cuts against the increasingly popular idea that all dinosaurs had feathers. Oh, darn it. Is it so? This is the wrong article. Man, this is what happens when I open too many articles up. Let's see. So yes, this teeny tiny 2 centimeter long tail with an additional 1.7 centimeters. That's smaller than the size of a quarter, by the way. Of feathers, plumage on that segmented tail does not fly in the face of this being, Archaeoraptor. Yeah, that's a fraud. Some sort of a bird with a segmented tail. But they want it to be a dinosaur. And so therefore they're saying that this teeny tiny thing, again, they're saying the size of a sparrow. Why can't they just say it's a freaking bird with a segmented tail? There's one right there, an Archaeopteryx. I believe in the Archaeopteryx, right? We've got dozens of fossils of Archaeopteryx. Sorry, you guys are going to distract me with all your talking in my chat. But yeah, it's like, oh look, it's a 5-inch long dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur, it's a bird. Can we just get over it? Can we just get over this? They have this need. And when you have a need, you start looking at things with skewed perception, right? They need it to be feathered dinosaurs. And when they're looking at a 5-inch long creature with a 2-inch long tail, and it's obviously a bird, they say, this is a feathered dinosaur. No. Someone else did, however, bring up the what was it? Where is it? Where's the other one? Not Piltdown Man, not Nebraska Man. What the heck was it called? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. The Microraptor. This is another one they're trying to claim as a dinosaur. When, I mean, it's a bird. I know these are drawings, these are illustrations, but they're based on the fossils. They're basing this on the fossil of this. I don't know how many specimens of the Microraptor they actually have. And again, this is where I get really sketchy, because we know how much the Chinese forge these things. There's big money in transitional fossils in China. And so the Chinese have been found. Yeah. I'm in the middle of a show. Do you need something immediately?
Yes.
What?
Did you ask? Is Eric okay with today?
Oh shoot. I didn't come to mind.
Didn't you ask him yesterday?
I did ask him yesterday. Do we have to do this right now?
Yes.
Why?
I'm leaving right now.
To go where?
To Paloma's.
Well, then how are you supposed to do it?
I'm going to come back.
I'm in the middle of a show.
I don't care. Then I'm going to come back. You're in the middle of a show all the time.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, this is the first I've done today. So.
That's because you woke up probably like an hour.
No, I didn't. I woke up at 8 o'clock. Well, actually, I woke up at 7. You know what? I'm in the middle of a show. Go away. This isn't the time.
This needs to happen right now. I'll probably be back at like 5:30. Okay, bye.
Bye. Eat in, ladies and gentlemen. Mute it, Mike. Yeah, so hoaxes everywhere, but let's just say that this is accurate. This is true. It's a bird. Okay. It's got primary feathers. It's got secondary feathers. It's got just like the Archaeopteryx, it's got a segmented tail. Oh, but it has feathers on its legs. So do pigeons. So do pigeons. It's got teeth. So do geese in a certain way. Let's see. Oh no, it's got feathers on its legs. It must be a dinosaur. You know, it's just gets to the point where it's you have to look at things like this and understand that there is a desire. If there wasn't a desire, if there wasn't a need to create transitional fossils, you know what? If transitional fossils were just everywhere, as they should be, if evolution were actually true, literally, if evolution were true, all we would find would be transitional fossils. Because there would be so many trillions upon trillions of fossil species throughout the history of the Earth that every time we found a fossil, we would find a transitional fossil. But that's not what happens. We find the same fossils over and over and over and over ad nauseum. We've got literally millions of copies of some fossils. We've got, like when we found the Archaeopteryx, it was like, we found an Archaeopteryx. And then what happened? Oh, we found like 24 more. If you're gonna... These creatures were created as is. If what was the other one? If the well, I'll do this again in case there's anybody new here. There were two paleontologists who were making two different arguments, and I always found it remarkable because they both use the same word. They use the word miracle. One was what I just said. There have been so many transitional species in the evolutionary tree that it is a miracle we ever find more than one, or it's a miracle that every time we find a fossil, it's a duplicate of another fossil, something like that. Basically, he's saying that we should, every time we find a fossil, find a transitional species, because there should be more transitional species than there are extant fossils. There are some, I don't know, 6 billion extant fossils right now. I'm extrapolating from older data. And there's only 250,000 fossil species. And that's all there have ever been. The number might creep up a little tiny bit at a time. But I've been making this argument for 20 years. There were 250,000 fossil species back then. There's 250,000 fossil species now. And we keep finding fossils. We just keep finding the same ones, falling them into the same categories that we already had. The other paleontologist was saying that the required elements and the situational elements required for any given fossil, for any given species to become fossilized is so unique and so rare that it's literally a miracle that any species throughout time has been fossilized. So if it's so rare that it's a miracle that a species has been fossilized, and yet there have been so many fossil species that every time we find a fossil, it should be a transitional transitional species. Why is it we only have found 250,000 fossil species, and almost every time, 99% of the time, we find another fossil, it's of a pre-existing fossil species? I use the example of the trading card set, right? Star Wars, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you buy 1 million packs of these cards. Eventually, you're going to have the whole set. And you could buy 1 million more packs of the cards. and you're just going to have multiples of the whole set, right? That's what we have with the fossils. That's what the fossil record shows. So it Liam, when you're saying it's possible for this stuff to make, evolution to be true, usually people are saying, well, look at the fossil record. Look at the bones. Look at the bones. The fossil record is like the strongest case against evolution. Well, that and abiogenesis. But anyways, kind of like Lone Star covers. That's right. Kind of like Lone Star covers. All right. Where are we at? Let me go back and see what you guys are talking about. Check the carbon dating, Mike. You can't carbon date anything, theoretically. You can't carbon date anything beyond 50,000 years old, which is interesting because since we have dinosaur soft tissue that clearly can be carbon dated because it is soft tissue, they won't carbon date it because if they carbon date it, they'll find that it's less than 50,000 years old. Carbon dating is super unreliable after about 12,000 years. Yeah, carbon dating, it's interesting. Things that we know with an absolute fact what the date is when they're carbon dated, the carbon dating is always wrong. Well, maybe just almost always wrong. But somehow, things that we don't know the date of when we carbon date it, we're sure it's 100% accurate. What does dino soft tissue taste like? I'm going to go with chicken. Fuzzy Creature says, as we deal with this evolutionary perspective, Mike may be right. Dinosaurs are an offshoot of some lizard. It doesn't mean that birds and dinos aren't a strong, distinctive split. Sharon Marlowe says, back bless this mess. Bless this mess. I did tick over 70 backers today. So woohoo! View project. Let's see how we're doing. I don't think I've moved since then. Nope. Carbon dating has serious flaws. It does. Fossil Earth is real. True. Some physicists and engineers have pointed out that a T-Rex and its gigantic cousin wouldn't be able to physically walk. I don't know why that would be the case. Imagine the size of a roast T-Rex. The oven for that would need to be huge. Well, I think you'd cook it in pieces. Hold on. Water. Anyways. I hope Mike tackles global warming next. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Focusing on the need for transitional fossils is based on a basic misunderstanding of sudden major physical changes actually occur. Yeah, that's called punctuated equilibrium. And that is the assumption that you may have all these species just, hanging out, doing just fine. And then suddenly, there is a cataclysmic event in the environment, and it wipes out 95%, 99% of the species or the population of a species. And then somehow that minor species or the leftovers of that species changes into something different to survive. Ray Thulu, think it through, that it really doesn't make any sense. If you survived because, I don't know. Okay, so take advantage. For example, in England, there's a group of rabbits that have evolved through this level of selection, right? Into being deaf, right? Whereas in anywhere else in the world, being deaf would be a detriment to the survival of this species. This particular group of rabbits lives by an airport, right? And so the rabbits with somehow a deaf rabbit survived because, when you lose one sense, your other senses are heightened. So because it was deaf and it couldn't hear anything, apparently it started paying more attention with its eyes. And the other rabbits who, rabbits are keen on hearing. That's what they got the great big ears are for. I guess the predators in the area would take advantage of the moments when a plane was going overhead, because it would distract the rabbit from them sneaking up on them. And so all the other rabbits in the area who weren't deaf got gobbled up by the coyotes and the wolves or whatever it was. So now there's a population of deaf rabbits by this airport. That doesn't change them into some other species. They're just deaf rabbits, right? Just like in what's that author's name? I always forget this author's name, with the six-toed cat in Key West. Guy shot himself with a shotgun. Can't remember his name. Jack? No. Old Man in the Sea. Someone's going to have to tell me. I don't remember. How many mutations before it's a new species? Hemingway. So yeah, at Hemingway House in Key West, there's like 100 six-toed cats, right? Because Hemingway adopted a six-toed cat, and then when he died, part of his will was that they take care of his cats in his house. And so that six-toed cat bred with the other cats in the house, and now lo and behold, there's a whole new species of cat. No, it's not a new species. It's a cat with 6 toes. Eagles, Mike. Eagles and hawks murked the bunnies. Was that what it was? Deaf rabbits, saddest cross-examinations ever. I know, it's like Watership Down over there. Oh my goodness. So yeah, how many? And here's the thing: is that in the biological world, how is rabbit meat? I don't know. Deaf rabbit meat's probably delicious though. In the biological world, mutations are always either that they're neither good or bad, right? Like the 6th toe on the 6-toed cat, or they're detrimental. Now, meaning, you've seen people with mutations. It's not like, you don't develop telekinesis or eye blasts or claws popping out of your thing. Mutations are detrimental to an organism. Our genetic code is a self-replicating, self-correcting, an error-correcting digital code. It is a program designed to keep us from mutation, right? It only takes one mutation according to Magneto. That is not correct. Where is StreamYard? There it is. All right. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Wolverine's claws make no sense. No, they don't. Mutations are usually detrimental. Right. But if they're not detrimental, then they're kind of just benign. They don't add anything to somebody's life, right? Nobody's Mike acts like he's never read X-Men. Basically, we are mutations corrected. Now, okay, JoJo has a mutation. He's got, it's called tetrasomy 18. He's got an extra 18th chromosome. That is detrimental. It may be beneficial to his attitude on life because he's always quite happy. But it has delayed his development quite a bit. That's why he's a special needs child. Turn that off and you. What? Explain what? Not to mention that the double helix design of DNA exists to prevent mutation, making lasting mutations difficult to spread. Yeah, and so that's the whole idea of like just gradual mutation. You have to think about this on a timeline. I know people just sprinkle time on evolution like it's some magic pixie dust that'll make everything make sense. But take any given population. Take the rabbit population. Maybe that's too much, because how many trillions of rabbits are there on Earth, right? Now say a rabbit has a beneficial mutation, right? I don't know what that would be. You know, like, I don't know. People are always saying it's a mutation. Their ears are longer. It's like, yeah. So, but I can't even imagine what a beneficial mutation on a rabbit would be. But just say there is one, right? Now, the daughter species has to somehow overtake a significant portion of the rest of the species, right? Because the rabbit is already obviously. You just got a Pokemon ad? No way. Pokemon. All I did was say it. Dang, Google, you're messed up. Say it's a rabbit, and that rabbit has to take that whatever that mutation is, it has to be so beneficial to that rabbit that it has to be able to take over a significant portion of the population of rabbitdom, right? In order to be a different species. This whole thing with the finches on the Galapagos Island, those aren't a bunch of different species. Those are all the same finches. They're literally all the same finches with different sized beaks. It's like saying humans with different sized noses are different species, right? It's like saying humans with different color skin or different texture hair or, different shape eyes are a different species. No, so they're not the same. They're the same because they can all interbreed with each other. That's why dogs, wolves, all those things, they're one kind of animal. It used to be in the old days. I know the word species has kind of lost its original intent. The word species used to be a genus of whatever, a category of creatures that can interbreed. So literally, the way creationists use the word kind today is what species used to mean. So dog, canine, was a species. There are subspecies in the species: wolf, coyote, Saint Bernard, Chihuahua, whatever it is. But as far as species, it's all the creatures in that genus that can interbreed with each other. So all of those finches on the Galapagos Islands with the different sized beaks, guess what? They're all the same bloody species. There's never been a branch off of the Galapagos finch that became a different species altogether. Lions and tigers can interbreed, and they are fertile. Ligers and tigons? Yes. Noisier, Peter. Am I speciest? I am. It's true. It's true. Beakophobia. I'm a beakophobe. So what you're saying is guys with big noses aren't human. Are you nosist? It's true. I am quite nosist. I had to mention KFC in different comment. Let's see. What kind of commercials could there be? Let's see. You got a Pokemon commercial because we mentioned Pokemon. What's big right now? Who would be advertising on YouTube right now? Let's do an experiment. Marvel Comics, Marvel Extended Universe, comic books. No, male ligers and tigons are sterile, but females are not. You mean like a breed, like Peking duck and a mallard and a khaki and Peking duck is a dish. It's not actually a duck. And a khaki Campbell. Is a khaki Campbell a duck? Yeah, breeds are categories of species. They're a subset of species. So Marvel doesn't pay for ads. Ah, darn it. All right, Migs, we'll see you later, bro. Peking is a breed of duck? Really? Well, I'll tell you, I've had Peking duck, and it's a delicious breed of duck. Big fat white ducks. That's a domestic duck. What are you? I'm a mallard. Sorry, you had to grow up in the Bay Area to know what we're talking about. We talking duck meat? I'm hungry again. Yeah, you know what? I know this all does have to do with apologetics, which I love. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Shelly says, oh my goodness, do you sleep? Hey, again, I late to the party. The job opportunity is always interesting. Thank you, Mike. Love your, how do you say, impressions. Well, thank you very much. Don't know who I'm doing right now, but that is a Peking, the white ones. Really? I just thought those were domestic ducks. Peking duck. I'm going to look it up. I bet you it's all recipes. It's just going to make you hungry. Because when I look up Peking duck, I just get Peking duck. Dang, that looks good. Oh. Dadgummit. Why you got to make me look at Peking duck? Oh, look at that. Delicious. So much yummies. Now I'm dying. Choppa, choppa, choppa. All right. Forcing hybridization. Isn't that a chimera? Yeah, peeking at the duck. Yeah, I don't see no white ducks. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Is breed? Peking duck breed. All right. Oh, Pekin. Not Peking. Pekin. Peking duck. Although I'm sure you can make Peking out of a Pekin. That's fine with me. All right. Let's stop sharing that. Let us go find, what are we on today? We are on Psalm. And again, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might, or challenges. If you are a evolutionist yourself and you find my reasoning and my rationality to be faulty, then by all means, back bless this mess. What were we on? 39? We did 38 yesterday, right? 38 was chasing me in the hot displeasure. Yep. So we are on Psalm 39. It's a shorty but a goodie. All right. Psalms chapter 39. If you would with me, please. Oh my gosh. What if you had Pekin duck, Peking style, and you add some pecans to it? That actually sounds really good. All right, let's do this. Focus. To the chief musician, even to Jeduthun, a psalm of David. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue, Lord, make me to know mine end and and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Man, does this not feel like like God? I mean, like this reads to me as if these are Jesus's words during the trial with Pontius Pilate or with Herod Agrippa. Is it Agrippa? Behold, thou hast made my days as an hand's breadth. Mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. All right, that's not Christ. But that whole first part sounds like, yeah. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. O spare me, that I may recover strength, before I go hence and be no more. Behold, I was made by thee. I said, I will take heed to my ways. That's watching, paying attention, being mindful of your own ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. I need personally to remember that. Surely every man is vanity. Does that mean he is doubting a purpose other than selfish needs? I don't think it's doubting a purpose. I think it's sort of the natural pitfall we all stumble into, right? Every man is vanity. We all, it's our natural inclination to think of ourselves first, to think of ourselves as most important, as tending to our own needs first, right? But that is not purpose. That is our nature. That's sort of the natural self. That's the flesh. And we do. Left to ourselves, we care the most about ourselves. No one has to be taught to love themselves, as in to put themselves first, right? Love is putting others first. Loving God is putting God first. Great question, Neon. No man can tame the tongue. Truth. The word translated as vanity in Hebrew means worthless. All right, let's go look it up. 39:11. All right. Wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wait. 39:11. Emptiness or vanity, Figuratively, something transitory or unsatisfactory, often used as an adverb. Altogether, vain, vanity. What were you saying? Worthless. I guess I could see that too. But vanity seems to be a accurate translation as well. 7. Bible Hub. Let's see. Let's pick up this link. Original word definition: vapor, breath. Primitive root: breath, delusion, emptily, emptiness, fleeting, fraud, futility, futility, idols, mere breath, nothing, useless, vain, vanity, vainly, vanity of vanities, vapor, worthless. Okay, obviously it's got more than one understanding. So you're accurate that it also means worthless, but that's sort of, I mean, isn't that kind of what vanity means? Right? Dun, 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 dun. Shelly says, I'm not the smartest person, nor am I anything that my God could ever think me as rude. Thank you. What? Shelly, are you talking to somebody else? Vanity Fair means worthless fair. Raythulu says, in pursuit of a personal irk I have with how David is depicted, I reread Samuel first, and I think I see phrasing that he did actually have a staff sling, not a normal battle sling. Give me a scripture, man. Give me a scripture. Don't just say Samuel 1, because that's going to be a long read. I also heard that David has red hair. Does anybody know where that? David has red hair in the Bible. Oop, Bibnal. In the Bibnal. Yeah, meaningless, worthless, vanity. That's maybe the usage of vanity is intended to have both meanings. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean both? Vain? I don't know. Hold on a second. Now Did David have red hair in the Bible? King David black with ruddy skin and red hair. Black Hebrew? Ruddy means red. Okay, that doesn't. I'm not going to Black History Bible. The Black Theology. Black. What's it called? Black Israelite Theology? Something like that. David was also a teenager, not a little kid. Yep. Yeah, I doubt they're going to let an 8-year-old go tend the sheep. Samuel 16:12. David described as ruddy. Does that mean King David had red hair? Samuel 16:12. All right, let's go. Samuel 16:12. I don't know if this isn't. It's not like this is terribly important what color his hair was. It's just something that came up in a conversation the other day. 16. So I'm kind of. Oh darn it! What was it? Samuel. Oh, 1 Samuel 16:12. First Samuel 16:12. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. Mike, it's a bullcrap. What is Black Hebrew Israelite? Just to guess. I don't think David was a Black Hebrew Israelite. I know. Ruddy, reddish, red, ruddy. Now, does that mean his skin or his hair? red all over like an hairy garment. That's how Esau is described. Ruddy and fair accounts. Ruddy. I guess David was a redhead. Either that or he had what's that skin disease called where you have red skin? The name Adam also means to be red. Does it? I always thought Adam meant man. Adam. Genesis 2:19. And Adam. Boom. We're gonna just dig into all kinds of stuff. Yeah. A human being. Mankind. Another hypocrite common story. Low man, mean of low degree. Person. Man. Perhaps so called from the idea of redness. Compare. The Arabs distinguish two races of men, one red, ruddy, which we call white, the other black. What? But both these races sprung from Adam. That's weird. So ruddy means white, according to the Hebrew Chaldean lexicon. So the exact opposite. That's interesting. That almost does his hair color really matter? No, Sharon, it doesn't. It's just interesting. I like to find out the nooks and crannies of the Bible. 1740 and 1743. 1 Sam 1740. That bears deeper. White babies are quite red when born. That's true. Adam is a red man. 1740 and 43. 40, and he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. So he had his staff in his hand and his sling in his hand. Are those the one and the same? That's the question, right? 43. And the Philistine said unto David, and my dog, that thou comest to me with staves. And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. Now, what were you saying? It's a staff sling? I've never even heard of a staff sling. But interesting thing to point out. Do you know why he chose him 5 smooth stones? Anyone? Anybody? Pete Mack says, did you notice that Biden couldn't say endowed by their creator at his rally? I know. Shelly says, I like it. Let's talk about all about God, life, everything that most of the PC culture won't. That's right. That's what we're here for. Oh, man, we got a minute and a half left. Quick, somebody tell me why Goliath's brothers. Thank you. To kill his siblings too. Thank you, DJ. That's right. Goliath had 4 brothers. David only brought 5 smooth stones. He picked out 5 smooth stones. That's faith, man. Like he ain't missing. He's not planning on missing because he trusted in God. Shepherd's sling. Let's check out a shepherd's slang. I don't see any kind of staffs. All right, let's see. Staff. A staff sling. This. That's staff sling, angle of fire. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just not really sold on it because he would have a full staff as a shepherd. Could he have attached a sling to it? Sure. But I don't think it's necessary. And I don't know. I'd have to be more convinced than just that. Human-sized trebuchet. Sharon Marlowe says, God bless and be kind to one another. Also back, bless this mess. You mean this? Bless this mess. I am up to 70 backers now. By the way, for those of you who have a heart to give, bless this mess to your friends and family, I dropped a new tier here. You can back out of your other tier and get this. It is the Family Blessings Pack. You get yourself a hardback signed edition plus 4 softcover reader copies that you can give away and spread the Bless This Mess love and be a blessing to your friends and family. So estimated delivery July 2020 anywhere in the world. So hit that up, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Bless This Mess. The best thing you can do for yourself this year other than reading the Bible daily and praying to God and anything related to your faith is getting yourself a copy of Bless This Mess or 4 or 5. Ace 2 says, atheist here. SJWs are annoying to no end. True. God-fearing or atheist, we can all agree SJWs are annoying. Indeed. Well, that's not a bad deal. It's not. It's essentially you're buying 4 reader copies and then you're getting you're buying 5 reader copies, but the 5th reader copy is a full-on signed hardback. So, and knowing me, I'll probably slip in something else in there. But yeah, do so, please. Link is in the description. Also, my store. Oh, that's my sales history. My Redbubble store. All my links are in the description. Please check them out. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys. I don't know what I'm doing today. Something else, I'm sure. God bless you guys. Love you all. That's it. Like, subscribe, share. I always forget that. Promote. Man, bye.
Back in line, you dog! On your